Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan and tonight I'm taking you guys on a ghost hunt. We're going to the Moundsville State Penitentiary in West Virginia, and this is actually a portion of our video that is going to be up on the Haunted Nights channel. So if you guys already somehow are not subscribed to Haunted Nights and you love ghost hunting, go over there right now. I'm going to link the channel down below. But before we get started, I'm going to run you guys through a little bit of the history of the Moundsville State Penitentiary. During and after the Civil War, politicians in West Virginia were lobbying to get a state penitentiary built because the county jails did not suffice. The legislature kept turning them down until multiple inmates started escaping, and then they realized that they needed a new state-of-the-art facility to house these inmates. In 1866, funding was approved, and then they ended up purchasing the land on which Moundsville now sits. They started looking at other prisons in the area. They looked at Joliet Prison in Illinois and decided that is who they would base the prison off of. The first structure that was completed on the site was the North Wagon Gate, which ended up housing about 251 inmates, and it housed many of the same inmates who would help build the rest of the prison. In addition to actually building the prison itself, inmates had other jobs they had to fulfill as well while incarcerated. There was a wagon shop, a blacksmith shop, a paint shop, among other things, and even a coal mine not too far away from the prison itself that helped cut down on fueling costs for the facility. Around the turn of the 20th century, it is said that the prison was in very good condition and the inmates were well treated and well fed. However, after some time, conditions worsened. Areas in the prison, such as the Sugar Shack, as it is now known, were taken over by the prisoners. They became areas where they could gamble, they often fought, and even different assaults would take place in these areas that didn't really have much guard supervision. In 1929, the state decided that the prison was far too overcrowded and the 5x7 cells weren't cutting it. There would be 3 inmates per cell, 2 sleeping on the bunks and then 1 inmate sleeping on a mattress on the floor. The state would again use prison labor to complete this construction right after World War II due to the steel shortage that occurred because of the conflict. 36 homicides would occur in the prison during its operation, one of which was that of Red Snyder, who is still said to haunt the prison today. This location saw a number of escapes and even a New Year's Day riot in 1986 due to the conditions of the prison. There was maggots in the food, cells became very cold in the winter and very hot during the summer, and the inmates had enough. January 1st, 1986, prisoners took over part of the penitentiary. It is during this riot that a gang known as the Avengers would take many guards and food service workers hostage in order to get their demands met. From 1899 to 1959, 94 men were executed at this prison. The most popular method for these executions was hanging, up until a gentleman by the name of Frank Heyer had quite the terrible incident during his execution. Now, I say it was terrible because of what the public witnessed when this execution took place. Now, back in the day, executions were public viewing. So if they were having a hanging, they'd put it in the newspaper, and you could bring your family, you could have a picnic, you just hang out and come watch the execution take place. This gentleman, Frank Heyer, was convicted of murdering his wife, and they had him all set up at the gallows, ready to be executed. Now, executions by hanging have a very specific formula they have to follow, and the math was done wrong in this scenario. The trapdoor opened, Frank fell, and he was instantly decapitated. And then after that, the prison decided that they would no longer have public viewing executions any longer. It would now be invite only, mainly for the family of the victim and the family of the person who was being executed. In 1951, they began using the electric chair known as Old Sparky, which still sits in the lobby of the penitentiary today. The last execution by the state's electric chair would occur on April 3rd, 1959. The prison would reach a peak population of about 2,000 inmates, and it was no stranger to violence, with just under 1,000 inmates perishing throughout the entire history of the penitentiary that we know of. Some of the penitentiary's history went unrecorded, so it is unknown in the formative years how many inmates could have perished in the construction days and the early days of the penitentiary itself. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the investigation. Alright guys, so I'm heading to Red's area right now. He was in the Aryan Brotherhood prison gang here. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to try to make contact with him and hopefully set up a good rest for our night here at Moundsville. We tend to get really good activity from him. He can be a little standoffish at times, but you know, he is an inmate. So if you guys don't know Red's story, he was actually known to be very inebriated or intoxicated. He had a cocktail of drugs that he would... I don't know what that is. He was known to be very under the influence of drugs during his stay here at the Moundsville State Penitentiary. One day, one of his former inmates here, who he thought was a friend, ended up pretty much decapitating him. He stabbed him multiple times in the throat, and Red would end up dying of asphyxiation, basically just suffocating on his own blood. So we're going down to talk to Red Snyder. The aesthetics here are terrifying, dude. Is there someone talking? It's like talking, dude. Do you guys hear that? Hello? I thought I just heard talking. It was a male voice. I only heard one voice though. It wasn't like a back and forth. Hello? That was weird, dude. All right, so this is Red's cell. I'm gonna set up my tripod here. All right, guys. So second camera set up. We are now over in Red's cell area, and we're gonna see if we can make contact with him. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna run some Vox. We had some really interesting interactions with Vox at the Washoe Club. If you guys haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. We had some really awesome interactions. But my name is Dylan. I've been here before. My friend Steve is here as well. He's back in the break room. We're just here to talk to you. I've never. There's a female voice. Can you say hello? Something like hi. Is this Red? Something people, like there's enough people, or there are a lot of people here? I'm the only one in here that I can see. Something said right behind. Dude, it's pitch black behind me too, which is terrifying. Are you an inmate here? Are you one of the guards? I don't know what that said. Do you like having visitors here? Can you tell us what your favorite TV show was? We understand you liked a soap opera. I don't know, man. There's noise down there. Here, I'm gonna cut this for a second just so we can listen. Because it said behind you, and then I just heard a whole lot of movement down there. Can you make a noise for me? If you're in the cell block somewhere else? Right, dude, that. Whoa. That was two separate noises, dude. There was like a bang down here, and then it sounded like like a yelp? All right, I'm gonna move this out of Red's cell. It doesn't seem like Red is here, or if he is, he's not very talkative. So I'm gonna move my other camera over here. Oh, it's so dark in here, dude. I'm gonna move this facing down towards some of like the lunch tables. Oh, it's so dark. All right, so that's gonna face that way. Try to pick up anything going on down there. Vibes are not great here, all right? I don't know what's going on tonight, but immediately I get down here for my solo, I don't know what that was. That sounded, I'm at like a loss for words. That sounded like fabric, like really quickly, like moving out of the cell. I don't know if it was this cell, if it was this one. Hopefully my second camera picked it up because it's got the external shotgun mic, but dude, that was really weird. Like the easiest way I can think to describe that was fabric moving. All right, anyway, don't, I guess. So like I said, just not great feelings down here. I mean, yeah, it is a massive prison. It's scary when you're alone in locations like this, but sometimes you can just feel when locations are a little bit off, you know what I mean? I mean, that was like nonstop from the minute I got down there. All right, guys, thank you first and foremost for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this little snippet. If you guys want to see the full solo that I did here at Moundsville State Penitentiary, and if you guys want to see the rest of the investigation that we conducted all throughout the penitentiary, make sure you go subscribe to Haunted Nights. Subscribe here too. You know, I learned a few things filming with this camera. First of all, the IR light, the mic, all that stuff. So next time I bring this camera on a ghost hunt, I can really set it up. I did an entire solo by myself with this camera while Steve was doing his solo. So I did 2 solos technically this video. But unfortunately, the mic that I had connected just wasn't on. So I have no audio for that entire solo. Pretty upsetting. You know, I got to go chill in the infirmary for nothing. Essentially, that's pretty spooky. But hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about paranormal investigation videos. And if you guys want to see more on this channel, because that's what I do all the time on Haunted Nights. So I could definitely get some more ghost hunting videos in here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Go subscribe to Haunted Nights. That'll be linked down below to see the full video coming out tomorrow, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.